Hey, welcome to the Tigers Halftime Breakdown Podcast. We're here to talk about great Auburn sports and most of all, great football. Let's get to it.
Welcome back to the Tigers Halftime Breakdown Podcast. My name is David Kashmer, and with me again is Auburn superfan Tom Dunnam. Tom, you look great on the TV at the basketball game last night.
Yeah, we're ready to do it again next Saturday when Tennessee comes to town.
Yeah, sure are. With that, everybody, today we're going to catch way up because it sure has been a bit. We're going to talk about how proud we are of Auburn men's basketball, #1 overall national ranking. We're going to talk about the big playoff picture for college football playoffs and, of course, also our much-loved pro football playoff. Tom, let's get right to it. Auburn men's basketball, #1.
Yeah, last night was our first game as #1 this year. Also, first game without National Player of the Year favorite Jani Broome. We went in and simply just handled business even without him. Chad Baker-Mazara led the way with 20 points. Chaney chipped in 17 points and 8 rebounds. Miles Kelly chipped in a double with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Denver Jones also added 13 points. We shot 55% from the field and 41.7% from three. And we held Mississippi State to just 35% from the field and 12.5% from three.
Yeah, Tom, everything looks great on Ken Pom. And just the stats are just really strong, especially with what could be considered best player being out with an injury. What's the injury update you've heard? How long is Jani going to be out?
They say it's indefinite right now, but honestly, I'd be shocked if he's out next Saturday when we come back home against Tennessee. He was out in the boot last night on the court, putting up some shots. He looked good, looked in good spirits. Honestly, he's probably getting some of the best care in the country too. Honestly, if he's able to play next Saturday, I think he'll play.
Yeah, I agree. That was a hell of a game if you're an Auburn sports fan. It had everything. It had windmill dunks. It had a low percentage from the opposition from the floor. And it even had a guy in coconuts who I think did an interview while he was standing right near you.
Yeah, that's my buddy Connor. I'm going to say he just did the damn thing.
He did just do the damn thing. From doing the damn thing to college football playoffs. It's been a big week, not just for us as Auburn basketball fans, but also for college football fans across the country. Why don't we get your comments on these matchups and hear what you think is going to happen as the final game goes down?
Honestly, I just think Ohio State's too talented. I don't think Notre Dame's going to have enough offense. Honestly, just Ohio State big. Since that Michigan loss, they pretty much dominated everybody they've played. I don't see it being close, to be honest with you.
I agree with you. I don't know what the line is on the game, but I would probably take it with Ohio State. And I've really loved hearing all the Notre Dame storylines. They've been very focused on their field goal kicker and his addition to the team and the Notre Dame head coach. There have been some great storylines coming out of Notre Dame, but like you said, Ohio State's just too strong.
Yeah, too much talent. So $20 million will buy you.
Ain't that the truth? So college football, sounds like we're unanimous on Ohio State. And let's move on to pro football. I got to say, it's some strong divisional rounds coming up, and everyone has been talking about, obviously, the wildfires in L.A. and the Rams in particular. So how about them Rams versus Eagles? What do you think is going to happen?
As much as I want to pick the Rams and the feel-good story, I think it's Philly. I think they just have probably too much offense, too. Jalen Hurts is going to run the ball, even at quarterback. He's going to throw touchdowns to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. The Eagles are going to do what they do.
Yeah, I hear you. And you didn't even mention Saquon Barkley.
No, I didn't even mention Saquon.
That just goes to show how strong they are. And when A.J. Brown puts down that book and gets off the sideline, he is an amazing player. And Jalen Hurts just squats too much to be stopped. I guess they call it Philly special or tush push or
tush push.
They call it. They are just a strong team. And I agree with you. I think this is going to be the end of the Rams feel-good story for this season. Of course, we wish everybody in L.A. Good luck and hope they're doing well, but I don't think that L.A. is built to get past the Eagles. But there are lots of other good games we're going to be watching. What are your thoughts on around the rest of the league for the divisionals?
I like the Lions over the Commanders. The Commanders have been really good all year with Jaden Daniels, the rookie phenom. But I think the Lions might even be on a mission after losing in the NFC title game last year. That offense is one of the greatest in NFL history, if we're being quite honest here. They put up a lot of points. They score in bunches. They got some injuries on defense, so I think the Commanders will get some things going offensively. But ultimately, I think the Lions' experience and, like I said, they're just on a mission is going to outweigh that. The Ravens, Bills, as much as I want to pick Lamar to finally get over the hump and win a big playoff game, it's in Buffalo. I'm not picking against Josh Allen. And as far as Texans Chiefs go, like I've said all year, I hadn't picked against the Chiefs yet. I'm not going to do it now.
Tom, we line up on all of them. I think you nailed it. I'm going exactly with your picks. And who's that leaving for us in the Super Bowl ultimately, do you think? What's that matchup going to be?
So let's see. If we're going by the picks today, it would be Lions, Eagles in the NFC Championship, Bills, Chiefs in the AFC Championship. I think I'd once again like the Lions. They'd be at home in Detroit, and otherwise I would not pick against the Chiefs once again. So we'd be looking at a Lions-Chiefs Super Bowl, and that one could go either way.
Yeah, I agree. No matter which way it lines up this year, I think it's going to be a strong finish to the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pick the Eagles to go all the way through to the final game and win the Super Bowl. But I just think the weapons you talked about are too many. I think Saquon is too talented, and he hasn't even scratched the surface. I just think that they're just too strong a team this year, and I think no matter who they line up against, that team's going to have a bad day. But this could go just about any direction. It's going to be a great run at the end of the playoffs here for sure.
Yeah, we got some really great matchups left, and I'm looking forward to the last few weeks of football.
Yeah, it could be a lot of wonderful beers at halftime and just a lot of good games on the big screen, whether that's basketball or really all of these divisional rounds and then on down to the end of the playoffs. So it's a good time to be a sports fan. And speaking about that, we haven't caught up yet about your fantasy this year. How'd your team do in the end, and how'd the season look for you?
Didn't fare too well. Probably my worst fantasy year yet.
What got you? What was the trouble with fantasy this year?
You're going to be honest with you, I might have had a few too many beers over at halftime when I was drafting.
That is how it gets you. On the one hand, they're delicious. On the other hand, you end up with sometimes one of the worst defenses. It just is what it is. That's the nature of it. But anyhow, look, it's a good time to be an Auburn fan. We've talked about a lot of great stuff. We've really been enjoying Auburn's #1 ranking, seeing your friend with coconuts in the jungle give a great interview. We're looking forward to the championship. That's going to be a great time at halftime. And then, of course, the strong divisional rounds. Hey, Tom, it looks like the future's bright for the next several weeks for us as sports fans, don't you think?
And we're just under a month away from Auburn baseball, too, and plenty of park and deck beers watching those games.
Oh, man. What a good time to be a fan. And with that, we'll sign off and see you soon with the big War Eagle.
War Eagle.
No, I'm driven all around this great country, mostly on a bus. Let me tell you, one of the things you can see from the bus is one of the best sports bars I've seen, and that's Halftime in Auburn, Alabama. You get there, you get great food, you get great drink specials, and great people. It's just a good place to be, whether you're watching a game or hanging out with friends. So listen, you should come on down and try Halftime, just like this podcast is just a great place to be.